The more I garden, the more I realize how many things in common plants and people have. We like warm weather, but we don't like it too hot. We like it sunny, not cloudy. We don't like it cold, and when it's cold, we put on a jacket. We don't mind the rain so much, but when it does rain hard, we use an umbrella to protect ourselves. We both need to be fed. We both need water. We both need support. Plants and people can get sick, but with the proper treatment, can get their health back. We can get bitten by bugs. We don't like sucking insects, or biting insects, or chewing insects. We really do have a lot in common. And that has a great deal to do with why I have this fabric over my plants. My rule of thumb is, if I need to put on a jacket, so do my plants. Now, plants and people are tolerant of some things, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they like it. We have plants that are tolerant of frost. That doesn't mean that that's the best growing environment for them, but it won't kill them. To help people and plants, we need to do the same thing, and that is protect them from the weather, give them sunshine, but not too much heat, give them the proper nutrition, watering, support, etc. The most important thing I've done for my plants, second to giving them the Mittleider weekly feed, is to give them protection from sun, wind, heat, cold, insects, so forth. And I do that by using plastic or by using this garden fabric here to protect them. I have 3 other videos that relate to this particular one. One shows how to build the T-frame structure. The other one shows how to build the arch on top of it. And the other one is showing plastic greenhouse and how I use that. So we're a week away from the official last day of average frost here. It's gotten into the 80s. And so I took off the plastic and put on this gardening cloth. One of the biggest things I've noticed is the effect that wind has on plants. It can dramatically stunt the growth and stop them from growing. And one of the biggest reasons why I have this fabric on here is for wind protection. Now this is a 0.5 ounce per square foot fabric. This allows 85% of the light to get through, because plants and people need light, but they don't want the extreme heat that comes from full sun. So this will allow the sunlight in and help reduce the heat. As with my other video, I can roll this up, and I have strings on the sides to hold this up so I can let it cool off even more if I need to. This will also protect it from heavy rains. And so the water will be able to get through to the plants, because plants love rainwater, but it won't wash them out. The fabric will also protect the plants from insects. Now there are several plants that don't need insects for pollination. For example, bell peppers, onions, and of course tomatoes. But I can open up the ends here on a nice beautiful day when I wouldn't want a jacket and don't need an umbrella or sunscreen. I can just have the sides all the way up, and the plants will be enjoying the weather too. Now this particular cloth I purchased, one reason because it's made in the United States. Second reason is because it's 0.5 ounces, which allows a lot of light to get through. And the third reason is because it's 24 feet wide. I know that I need, from this 4-foot wide bed, I need 21 feet wide. So I bought 24 foot by 250 feet. And that's a lot of fabric, because I only need 28 feet long here to go across the bed and cover both ends. And I have 2 beds. Having the extra fabric allows me to use it for other things, like my smaller beds here when I have the hoops on there, or our trees here during the winter or during the summer to block the heat, our other flower beds and so forth that need to be protected from the heat, wind, and cold. Now this will give you about a 4% increase in temperature when it's really cold, but that's really not why I have that. When it's cold, I put the plastic on. In the spring, summer, and fall months, I have this fabric on, and in the winter I have the plastic to create a greenhouse. This will also allow me to plant earlier and harvest longer. There are just so many benefits from protecting your plants with plastic and fabric. It just makes sense if you really want to extend your harvest, to increase your harvest, and protect them from the elements. Below the video are a couple links. One of them is to where you can purchase this fabric. Another one is to learn more about the Mittleider gardening method. And another one will be to the Mittleider gardening group on Facebook. We welcome you to join us there. We have lots of great photos, lots of great discussions going on how well the garden is. A lot of comments on how successful their gardens have been since they started using the Mittleider method. And they simply converted from their traditional organic gardening to adding the weekly feed and doing some things like what we show here with covering with fabric and plastic. A lot of gardeners already use fabric and plastic to cover the gardens, and that's a great idea, and that's one of the elements of the Mittleider gardening method. This is LDS Prepper reminding you, if ye are prepared, ye shall not fear. And if you use plant fabric to cover and protect your plants, you'll have greater yields, longer harvests, and great weather and insect protection.